I'm gonna put an end to this shit once and for all.
Mom and Pops are officially calling it quits.
Friends?
Forever.
I want to play.
No, not even close.
What's up, YouTube? It's your boy Mark Dark, and I'm back with another video. If you're new, if you love BMF, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, like the video, and leave your theories, comments, everything down below. Now today, we're going to be talking about BMF Season 3, Episode 10, the season finale. This is the recap. I'm going to try my best to focus on all the key points that we saw in this episode. If I miss anything, you guys let me know down below. And man, the season is finally over. We finally smoking on that Henrietta pack. We finally smoking on that Remy pack. I mean, that guy should have been up out of here. Booker T is no more. And now it seems like the brothers, they're about to go on a crazy mission in Mexico. And they was basically in no man's land. But in this episode, it was good to see them finally neutralize all the threats. And we know that Detective Bryant, I know he was happy as hell that he was able to pop Henrietta. And we know Detective Veronica Jen, she arrested her in Emerson's cuffs, just like she stated earlier on in the season. And we know Terry, he didn't really have to do anything. All he did was make a call to Denise. We know that white girl Denise, she used to work with Terry, and we know she got locked up. But he made that call, and we know Henrietta, she got shanked. She's up out of here. But I'm eager to see what's going to happen next, especially in Atlanta. We know that your girl Angel, she said, you know what? I got to go. You know what I'm saying? I got to get the hell up out of here. I'm going to leave this lifestyle and start my own business. And of course, Meech was kind of sad because he was getting real close to Angel, but he also understands that Angel, she got to do what she got to do for herself. And that's exactly what she ended up doing. Now, Dr. Maurice, he was a fake and phony the whole time. He waited until he hooked up with Lucille to tell her the full truth. He's been engaged for the past 2 years. Like, really? You decided to wait? He said, you know what? I got to get in these, draws first, and then I can let her know the truth. Maybe she'll stick around, but Lucille was not going. She said, hell nah, I'm not messing around with you anymore. And it seems like Charles was right, that the grass is not greener on the other side. That doctor, he's definitely up to no good. And we know that we did not see Markeisha in this episode, which was a good thing. Ain't nobody got time to be hearing all her nagging and complaining. Seemed like Terry was, kind of missing her. Well, it seems like your boy Terry was doing quite well for himself without Markeisha in the picture. Hopefully, we get more of that. But let's begin the recap. What did we see in episode 10, the season finale, titled Prime Time? Now, of course, we get the quote of the episode. We know that Meech and Terry, they did a great job working together with Meech's ideas and Terry's vision. Now, we end up getting the flashback to when they was kids, and we know that your boy Meech ended up dropping out of school, and he was telling Terry on how this rock is about to change their lives forever, and we know he was not lying. Now, we get to Remy, and we know Remy, he ended up giving the Red Dogs that intel on Meech and Terry, and we know that the vehicles got impounded, and Remy thought he can steal these cars and get the product. Well, that's not going to work because we know the mechanic, he set up those safes to where you got to know the right combination in order to get in. And we know Remy, he don't know what the hell he's doing. And the Red Dogs did not know how to get into the vehicle as far as finding those drugs, right? And we know that your boy Duffy was telling Meech that, look, we will take over. Don't worry. All we got to do is talk to the other crews. You know that Sharp character, he was already talking to Clyde. So all they got to do is wait and see if this guy is willing to work with Meech, because ain't no way in the hell they're going to be able to get that product. And we know that Remy cannot beat Meech's deals. Now, we get to your boy Sterling Black. He lets Terry and Meech know that Hoop has been shot by Henrietta. And we know that Meech is telling Terry that he needs to handle this. He has to cut her water off, and he has to do it very quickly because she's doing entirely too much. Now, your boy Hoop, he is recovering. He has made it. And he was happy as hell at the end of the episode. That nurse came in. All the boys were staring her down, wishing they can clap those cheeks. But at least everybody's cool. And your boy Hoop, he will be here to stay. I mean, it's kind of sad to see characters that's been here for a while get taken out. So it's good to see that your boy Hoop end up making it. Now, we get to Detective Veronica Jin, and she goes to Detective Emberson's pops, believing that he's going to help her because he has a lot of power, and she's not knowing that this guy is also on Blaze's payroll. Now, we know Emberson told Detective Veronica Jin that her father was not the best person, and from the looks of it, I guess she was not lying because he was the one that told Blaze about Detective Veronica Jin being on Henrietta's case, and she was building up, some evidence to try to take her down. Luckily, Jin did not tell him about the recording device because if she did, that whole game plan to take down Henrietta probably would have failed. Now, Charles and Lucille, they have signed the paperwork, and now it is, legit. The divorce is good to go. And I know this was a bittersweet moment, but Lucille believes this is the best move. I know Charles did not want this to go down, and we know that he wanted to stay with her and fix things. Now, we know Nicole was very upset. She did not want her parents divorcing, and most likely this will have a very negative effect on her in the future. Now, we get to Meech and Angel, and Meech is talking about the future. He's talking about his vision and what he wants to do in Atlanta. And of course, we can kind of tell that Angel was not really feeling it, like she had something else on her mind, and she was mentally preparing to leave, which she was. I mean, she's like, look, she wanted Meech and her to end up leaving, but Meech ain't going. He wants to be established in Atlanta. We get to Henrietta. She's cutting her hair. She's feeling like a new person. We know she does meet up with Detective Veronica Jin. And while she's having a conversation with her, Veronica is asking her about her next moves. And then she gets a call from her pops. Her pops lets her know that Veronica is up to no good and that she's building up a case on her. And she's trying to basically get payback for her partner, Detective Emberson. Now, Henrietta was pissed off. And at first it seemed like things was cool, but no. Henrietta was trying to get, Veronica Jin up out of here. Luckily, Jin was able to escape this. Detective Brian came in and helped save the day. He ended up shooting Henrietta, I believe like in the leg or something like that. And then Henrietta, she got up out of there. But man, that lets us know, as I told you guys earlier, that Emberson's pops, that dude's shady, and he's working with Blaze. Like, really? I mean, no one can really be trusted at all. But as Detective Brian stated, it was good that she did not let, Emberson's pops know about that recording device. We get to Dr. Maurice, and now he is ready. Lucille and Charles, they're officially divorced, and she wants to have a good old time with the doctor. He claps those cheeks, and then he decides to go ahead and just tell her the full truth, that he's been engaged for the last 2 years. Like, really? 2 years? Lucille was pissed off. She said, hell nah, I can't deal with you. I ain't messing around with another cheater. It ain't happening. And all the doctor can do is sit there and look back and wish he can actually have Lucille for the rest of his life. But that's not going to be the case. Now, Meech meets up with that Sharp character. We know this guy had a, good bond with Clyde. And we know most likely Meech is going to be doing business with him in the first place. But we know Remy, he messed everything up. Now, we know this Sharp character was asking Meech, what does he have to do in order to work with BMF? And in the back skirts, we see this guy right here. I believe his name is Froggy. I mean, this dude went back and could not wait to tell Remy what was going down. Now, Sharp does help Meech get his cars back. Everything is going quite well, but we know Remy, he gets that intel from this Froggy character. I mean, what type of name is that? Froggy? Like, really? Now, Remy pops up, and they got the straps. They're not playing around. And we know that Meech ended up shooting his way up out of there. Shooting and driving. Luckily, he had his boys there, Duffy and some other crew members, so they was able to escape, and they was able to cause some damage to some of Remy's guys. And y'all know Remy, he was pissed off. Look at him, looking just like Booker T, looking like he is saying, can you dig it, sucker, face ass boy. Now, Lucille tells Charles that things did not go as planned with Dr. Maurice, and we can kind of tell she's feeling bad, but she tells Charles they can just be friends. Charles was cool with all that. He tells her, look, we're going to be friends for life, and he always is going to have love for her, right? But we know Charles, he has to prepare for that tour. And Lucille, she's not going to be going. Now, we get to Blaze. He's pissed off about Henrietta and what she's done. And Henrietta, she is tired of her pops because he's been real. He's telling her she's been making all these mistakes. Basically, he's taking her organization, and we know he's pissed off because she continues to mess up business for him, getting family killed. He ain't going. And Henrietta, she's like, look, don't call me Henrietta, call me Henry. And once he says he's going to take that organization, she was not going at all. She pulls out her golden gun, and eventually she shot and took out her pops, which I always thought it was going to be like a family clash. I knew something was going to happen within this whole storyline, and it would be involved with the family. Her uncle was trying to stop her, but Henrietta said, nah, I'm good. He got to go. Now, we know everything was being recorded because of that device, and then law enforcement, they came in. So the whole game plan that Detective, Veronica Jen and your boy Bryant had worked. And she was arrested in Emberson's cuffs. And we know Detective Bryant, he walked up to Henrietta and he told her that he took out her cousin. So I know she was pissed off and, very upset about that. But I know Detective Bryant was very happy. He felt like he got payback for his boy Kevin. Now, we get to Terry. He's outside watching everything go down, him and Sterling Black, and he understands that he needs to make this call to Denise in order to eliminate this threat completely, because Henrietta, she's not going to stop. As long as she is breathing, she will continue to be a problem. Now, the rest of Remy's crew, they end up turning on him. I mean, look at this guy. He was pissed off, but you got to go. Luckily, they did not smoke you right there. I mean, Misha's in Techwood, and now he has taken over. Don't nobody want to do no damn business with no Remy. Now, later that night, we know Remy was preparing to leave from the looks of it. He was looking back at the city, probably reminiscing when things was good. And as he's about to pull off from buying his water, all of a sudden, we see someone with black gloves come in and take him out. So Remy is up out of here. That Remy pack is official. This guy needed to go, and this is for your boy Ty Washington. And we know in this episode that Meech did show his respects at Ty Washington's gravesite. Now, 1 week later, we end up seeing Meech in Atlanta. We see Bleak and we see Jay Pusha, and we know that Meech wants to make Atlanta, the distro area. We get some, the Wire OGs in this particular scene. It was good to see Bleak and Jay Pusha dap it up. And I know a lot of the Wire fans was happy to see these two guys in this episode doing business together. Now, the Red Dogs, they couldn't do anything. This was the main reason that Meech got that mechanic, because we know his, system will make it very hard for anybody to find any drugs in these vehicles. I mean, Bleak was just laughing because he knew these Red Dogs was not going to be able to find nothing. Now, Meech and Terry, they end up talking about, moms and pops have made it official as far as the divorce. And Meech wants to make sure that Nicole is okay, because we know this will have a very negative effect on her. And we know Meech was talking about how they got to keep the family together because family is everything. Now we get to your girl Henrietta. She gets shanked up while she's locked up. And we know that Terry, he made a call to Denise, as you can see right here. We know Denise, she was working with Terry with those cars. She got locked up. But now she's about that life, y'all. And she is very loyal. So I guess now we are officially smoking on that Henrietta pack. She's up out of here. Now we get to LaWanda and Terry. LaWanda looking all good, got herself together. Terry's like, man, you looking real good. LaWanda, she's over Terry. She's like, look, it is what it is. We already know that Terry's going to continue to mess around with Markeisha. But LaWanda, she wants to work on herself, and she has enrolled in cosmetology school, and she wants to be a stylist. So LaWanda, she doing what she got to do to make it, regardless of what Terry is doing. Now, we get to church. Your boy Raw Dog Charles, he out there playing his instrument. He having a good time. Lucille has accepted the role as assistant pastor. She goes up and she gives a great word to the church. Had everybody in their feelings, especially her daughter Nicole. Now, we get to Angel and Meech, and your girl Angel's like, look, I'm leaving. No, I'm saying I'm not staying here anymore. I've been saving all my money up. I'm about to have a down payment for my business. And she's basically going to be opening up an after school program for girls to help them not make the same mistakes and go through some of the things that she went through. Meech, she does want her to stay. He tells her, look, you know where I'm at if you ever need to come and and visit me. But he understands that she has to go out there and handle business. and he understands that she gonna do what she need to do. So shout out to your girl Angel. I mean, hopefully we get to see her in future seasons, but man, from the looks of it, she is up out of here. Now we learned that Councilman Amberson and a lot of other people got arrested because of corruption in the force and all that stuff. And we know that Detective Veronica Jen is talking about, since she got her gun and badge back, that she's going to head out to LA. The LAPD is some Asian gangs out there that's moving a lot of weight. And we know that Detective Bryant, he is talking about going down south because we know he wants to try to get Meech. Now we know he ended up cleaning out Kevin's room, and it was kind of sad, but we know Bryant felt real good because he's like, man, I did it. You know what I'm saying? He has on the shirt with the character Bruiser that his son made up. And, you know, Kevin will be very proud of his pops, but now it's time to move on. It's time to head down south and see what he can do as far as catching Meech. Now we get to your boy Charles. He has to prepare to leave for this tour, and we can tell that Lucille, she was kind of sad. She's like, man, you leaving already? She was thinking that he's going to be able to eat dinner, but no, he ain't got time for that. It's time for him to hit the road and get this money. Now Nicole, she said a prayer, pray for the family and everything like that. A very sad scene between her and Lucille, but at least they got each other. Now we get to the Platinum Palace, and once again, there's no fights. That's good, right? Now, they're celebrating. It's good news. Everybody's together. The threats are eliminated. We see your boy Primetime, Deion Sanders, his son. He did a great job playing his pops, man. He did a very good job. I mean, this dude can actually act, in my opinion, and we know he ended up giving Terry some great advice on why he calls himself Primetime. I mean, this dude is about business and about getting money, right? Now, we know in the same night that Angel, she had her last dance in the club, and we also know that Loco ended up getting locked up in Mexico. His boy came in the club and told Meech that Loco is in trouble. He's been arrested, and now they need help. So Meech and Terry, they have to go to Mexico. Now, Terry was like, man, I don't know about that. He wasn't really trying to go, but Meech is like, look, man, if we don't go, our whole business is done for. We got to at least try to see what we can do. So we get to Mexico, and then we know they're basically in no man's land. Terry is not getting any reception. It ain't looking too good for the boys. And apparently Terry was trying to call Markeisha. Meech was upset, like, man, stop trying to call that girl. We need to stick to business. But Terry was just worried, like, man, we in this different country, you know what I'm saying? Of course, it doesn't seem like nobody is anywhere out there, but Meech still has that vision. He's like, look, man, we gonna make it happen. We create our own rules. We gonna get the job done. So I definitely cannot wait to see what's next for these two. We know this whole, mission to Mexico to try to get Loco out would not be easy, but they always somehow, some way end up finding out, a solution to their issues. So we're going to see. But this was a solid season finale. Most of those, final predictions end up coming true. No Henrietta, no Remy. They up out of here. And now we're going to see what's going to happen next. Your boy Detective Bryant headed down to Atlanta. And this really could be the last episode of Detective Veronica Jen. We're going to find out, I guess, in season 4. But in my opinion, I will say after watching this season, episode 5 was my favorite. I believe it was the Battle of Techwood or something like that. That episode was fire, you know what I'm saying? But this episode was solid, but that episode was the best one out of the season, in my opinion. But you guys, y'all let me know. How did you think about BMF season 3? Are you ready for season 4? The good news is I believe they're filming the show right now, so they're going to make sure we get that content next year. And I cannot wait to see what they're cooking up for all of us. But I want to thank you guys once again for supporting your boy for another season of BMF. I will continue to drop, a few more BMF videos for you guys over the weekend and probably next week. Talk about different theories and different storylines that we saw in this episode and what may come next. Now, I want to thank you guys once again for all the love, all the support, and I will catch y'all on the next one. But let me get up on out of here, man. It's your boy Mark Dark. I'm out. Peace.